is a more patient opening, where white plays c4 to control the d5 square without committing a central pawn. c5 meets c4 with a symmetrical approach to controlling the center. Knight f3 develops the knight and controls the d4 and e5 squares. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center and controls the e4 and d5 squares. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. Black develops the knight and attacks the center. This prepares the bishop for development. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. This prepares the bishop for development. This strikes at the center with a pawn, trying to gain space. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory, played by top players for years. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This moves the bishop to safety. Good job bringing your bishop out early to build a solid position. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. The bishop moves forward into the game. Solid choice in the opening. The pawn is now adequately defended. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-on trades. Very precise. This is an equal trade. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is the way to win a pawn. Recaptures from a previous move. Takes back. This forces the opponent to have isolated doubled pawns, which ruins their structure. Recaptures. This wins a tempo by threatening a queen and forcing it to move away. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This is the strongest option. The piece finds a new active square. This offers an equal trade of pieces. One of the best moves. A very strong play. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. With this recapture, white introduces a new piece to the game. The bishop finds a new active square. Taking that pawn wins material after the follow-up trades are made. Recaptures. Takes back. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This move puts the queen on a safer square. The piece finds a new active square. This is a fair move. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. White's pieces move to a square with greater activity and control. Right on target. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-on trades. Pushing a passed pawn. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. That's fine. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. This creates a threat against a pawn by pinning one of its defenders. This misses an opportunity to defend a pawn that was under attack. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Placing a rook behind a passed pawn helps keep the pawn protected as it tries to promote. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. Very precise. This is the strongest option. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This threatens to eventually win a rook. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win a rook. This threatens to eventually win a rook. This stops the opponent from being able to eventually win a rook. This threatens to eventually win a rook. This is the only move that works. This threatens to eventually win a rook. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win a rook. This is not the right idea. This is the only good move. This protects the attacked pawn. This is a fair move. That's fine. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. Right on target. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. Very precise. This is the only move that works. This is the strongest option. This is the only good move. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Right on target. A solid choice. Very precise. This is the strongest option. One of the best moves. Right on target. This overlooks an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. This is a fair move. Very precise. This steps away from the checking rook. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This permits the opponent to take an outpost with a bishop. This overlooks an opportunity to block an attack on a vulnerable pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to create a passed pawn. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. That's fine. This wins a bishop. This stops the opponent from being able to win a rook through a skewer. A very strong play. This is the way to win a bishop. This moves the bishop to safety. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. A solid choice. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This steps away from the checking rook. Very precise. This is the only move that works. This evades the check from the rook. This wins a bishop. This makes a passed pawn. Recaptures. One of the best moves. That was a free pawn. A very strong play. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. Very precise. This steps away from the checking rook. A solid choice. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. This allows the opponent to eventually win material. This allows the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to win material through a tactic. This loses a rook. This overlooks an opportunity to tactically win a pawn. That was a free rook. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the bishop. Right on target. Very precise. This evades the check from the rook. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This moves the bishop to safety. One of the best moves. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This is a fair move. A very strong play. This is the strongest option. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. This move puts the rook on a safer square. A solid choice. One of the best moves. This steps away from the checking rook. A very strong play. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This threatens to play checkmate. This stops the opponent from being able to play checkmate. This evades the check from the bishop. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. A solid choice. One of the best moves. A very strong play. This steps away from the checking rook. Right on target. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the rook. A solid choice. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the bishop. A very strong play. A solid choice. This steps away from the checking rook. Very precise. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. One of the best moves. This steps away from the checking rook. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This moves the bishop to safety. This moves the rook to safety. This blocks the check from an opposing rook. Neither side could break through, and the game ends in a draw by stalemate.